Good afternoon, friends. I'm glad that you joined us today for our daily pause. I wanted to sort of continue a discussion that Sarah started with y'all yesterday. She talked with you about hope, and I have been thinking about what I think of as hope's cousin, gratitude. I'm convinced that gratitude is one of the most important things that we can do. One of the most important and fruitful spiritual practices that we can do as Christians. Just acknowledging to God our thankfulness and gratitude for the blessings that God has placed in our lives. Paul even urges us to do this in the book of Colossians. He says, "Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful." That's Colossians 4:2. So having this posture of gratitude gives us the ability to have peace and hope, even in difficult times. John Baptiste Alphonse Carr, and forgive me, I may have misspoken his name there, but he has this great quote on gratitude that I love. He says, "Some people grumble that roses have thorns. I am grateful that thorns have roses." And it's sort of a reworking of that classic glass half full, glass half empty dynamic. That depending on how we look at our lives, depending on our own perception of our lives, it changes our mindset and lives pretty dramatically. So, for instance, I know right now this is a tremendously difficult time for a lot of people. I know America even has it better than a lot of other countries, but even here in our country, a lot of people have lost jobs. A lot of people have gotten sick. A lot of people have passed away. And even those who have dodged those bullets have anxieties of being around people and going grocery shopping. And, it is a much more difficult time than normal. But I'm certain that even in the midst of this thorny time, that God has roses for us to notice. So yeah, that's sort of what I want to focus on with this time of prayer together. Alice Walker said that thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. Scripture repeats this notion again and again. The Psalms are full of it, full of people just giving God praise for the ways that God has provided for them and cared for them and blessed them. And I think why I've been thinking this is because thank you is the prayer that I have said more recently than any other prayer. Having our daughter come to us has just filled my heart with thanksgiving to God. I find myself saying silent prayers of thank you every time I hold her and have quiet time with her. And when I look back on the whole experience, I just feel so blessed. And taking time to acknowledge my gratefulness has blessed me as well. It has given me more peace and joy and excitement in this time. So that's why I've been thinking about gratitude, and why don't we actually practice it now? I was reading in this book. It's a book I discovered in seminary, Writing a Way to Pray, about this writing technique called clustering, where you pick a topic to write on and you put that in the center of your page and you circle it. So our topic is going to be gratitude or Thanksgiving. So get a fresh piece of paper and write in the middle of your paper Thanksgiving or thankfulness or gratitude or thank you or something like that and circle it. And then spend some time thinking about some main things or people or events or other things that you are grateful for. Whatever is coming to your heart and your mind this day, write those main things down. So I did this first part already, so you see I put gratitude in there, and I put around it some of the main things that I just keep coming back to this day, just that I'm just so grateful for. And then once you do that, establish a pretty good list of 8 to 10 things. Start thinking about sub topics that you are grateful for under each one. So you may have seen at the top, I put Sunday, my daughter's name, down there. I just heard her cooing in the background. I might write that down. I might write cuddling with her. I might write, I'm grateful for her health. So those are other things you write down and circle and connect. And you can do that with all your different topics. You can connect things together from different topics as well. But this is just a way of sort of doing spiritual brainstorming for you to think about the different roses in your life that God has brought you, and to help you focus on them. And so when you're done with your clustering, when you're done with your brainstorming, just take some time and say a prayer of thankfulness, or be praying while you're clustering and brainstorming, and just offer up to God your prayers of gratitude as you're aware of all the blessings that God has placed in your life in this moment. So that's what I have for you today, to end our time and get you jump started in doing this prayer of gratitude. I'm going to read Psalm 100 for you, which is a psalm that especially focuses on thankfulness and praise to God. So here it is. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. Know that the Lord is God. It is he that made us, and we are his. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. For the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all generations. So that's what I have for you today. Let's practice some gratitude together, and hopefully God will double the blessings as we become even more aware of them. So we hope to see you again soon, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the next Daily Pause.